till death do us part.
But doesn't the sanctity of marriage also rely on the woman being a virgin? So you wouldn't be able to get married.
Oh no. God, she is so bad. What will she get better at debating at a certain point, or will she just keep getting obliterated? Pearl Davis on why she thinks women shouldn't vote. Piers Morgan is back with yet another episode of Uncensored, where he takes some of the worst people online to stand next to him to make himself look good in comparison. He is the GOAT at this. This is his bread and his butter. He does it all the time. So here he is, back at it again.
Davis has racked up a legion of online followers and plenty of breathless newspaper coverage by sharing her incendiary views.
Sorry, I apologize. I said, this is Piers Morgan's bread and butter. But instead, I should have said, this is Piers Morgan's tea and crumpets. Right.
Views on modern feminism. The New York Post called her the female Andrew Tate. So she tapped into genuine female pushback to the excesses of wokery, or is she just an attention seeker? We'll find out in a moment. But first, let's take a look at the clip that sent her viral.
A lot of people think I'm insane because I don't think women should vote. Everybody thinks I'm crazy for this opinion. If anything, this is probably my most extreme opinion. 90% of women have been on birth control. 1 out of 3 women has had an abortion. 1 out of 3 women has an STD. Average body count is over 5, so that your average wife has slept with over 5 people. 95% of women are not virgins on their wedding days. So I understand the complaint.
OK, well, Pearl joins me now alongside political journalist Ava Santini, who was nodding furiously along there to everything she heard. Right, Pearl, you've been called the female Andrew Tate. How do you plead?
Well, I take it as a compliment. You know, I'm a fan of Andrew Tate.
Of everything he says?
It depends what we're talking about. But overall, I think he's got a good message. I think he's good for young.
What don't you agree with that Andrew Tate says? That's awesome. They're so brave, dude. I gotta pee.
Men.
OK, look, you're talking about women predominantly, which is why you've got this big following. And your view is that modern feminism is deeply flawed. I would argue a lot of your proposals, like taking the vote away from women, are deeply regressive. Why would you want to remove, just from yourself, the right to vote?
Well, what happened was I had the same view, right? Back when I started, I was like, why? I found out that only 5% of women wanted the right to vote. And I couldn't figure out, like, why would women not? No, it's true. It's true. You look it up.
At the time?
At the time.
Because they've been conditioned by men to think that they shouldn't have a vote.
I mean, that's what they say. But, you know, I started reading their writings, right? And what I found out was that the reason a lot of women advocated for it was because they believed it was the beginning of the breakdown of the family. You know, before you became one in marriage, 85% of people were married. And, you know, I hate to say it, but they were right. What has happened 100 years later?
Well, what's that got to do with them having the vote?
Well, it also goes back to responsibility. Again, men are 80 to 90% of the military. They run all of the infrastructures that make society run. So I just think if we want an equal say in society, then be equal. Do 50% of the hard jobs. Be 50% of the military. In the U.S., they're fined $250,000 if they don't join selective service, which is essentially the draft.
OK, but specifically on the vote, what would having the right to vote have to do with family cohesion, for example?
Well, because, again, before you weren't trying to divide a family. It was one family unit. You had one vote for the family. I mean, I don't think it's good for a family to have 2 votes.
Ava, your mouth seems to have dropped about.
No, do you know when it's sort of like,
I know.
No, it's just sort of a bit galaxy brain. I feel like, you know, the stats that you're putting down are perhaps correct in some universe.
Which stats?
They just kind of don't really add up. I mean, just to take you back to the to the women's writings that you've allegedly read. I mean, at
allegedly.
The time, well,
what do you mean allegedly?
At the time that you're talking about, you know, women weren't really allowed to write. They weren't allowed to go to school.
Yes, they were.
Write.
Yes, they
so
were. That's
actually,
incorrect. The first female property owner was in the 1600s. The idea that women couldn't work and couldn't.
I'm so sorry, but that would be inherited property.
The first female millionaire was in the late 1800s.
And was that inherited?
No, it wasn't. It was self-made.
Yes, it was.
Self-made. Yes, it was.
She never inherited land.
Yes, she did not inherit it.
What law permitted that?
What
law?
The irony of this, and I've repeated this before, I've mentioned it before, is that no self-respecting misogynist is gonna watch a woman say any of these things. Okay,
or permitted that?
Well, there was no law. I mean, there's always been women that were influential in
let's
history.
let's get on to the vote. So what I don't understand is, a part of your message, I've researched you today, and hang on a minute.
Okay.
Your big push is that you care about men and you don't think that men are getting enough of a say. But
Well, I care about
hang
women
on,
too.
I haven't
Care
made
about
the
women
point
too,
yet. Because of feminism, okay? What I wonder is when you start making calls out like repeal the 19th, women shouldn't be allowed to vote. How is that helping young men? Because these young men have women in their lives, they have mothers, they have sisters, they have teachers, and they turn around, they don't know how to act around women because you're giving them license to be misogynistic.
I wouldn't call it misogynistic. I say be equal. So again, men
think
do
that's what
all of
most
the
feminists are
Well,
saying.
then okay, I'd love for the feminists, please apply for the oil rigs. Please go do the hard job.
This is such a easily addressed take that Ethan has done a great job addressing, as well as many others. But it's like, first of all, that's not the only job. Secondly, a lot of these like menial labor tasks, just not the oil rigs, I guess. Plenty of others that don't go viral on Twitter, like distribution facility jobs, right? They are taken by women. And not only that, but those jobs are not paid well. The oil rig jobs as well are not necessarily paid as well as they are supposed to be. It's very stupid to constantly go, oh, women oil rig jobs. It's like, bro, what about the CEO jobs? You know what I mean? There is no physical labor there. Why is that also still heavily dominated by men? Shut up.
In society, they're open, they're hiring, because I don't equate for, I don't think men or women are equal until we do the equal work. So no, listen, go apply to be on the oil rigs, go be a plumber, go be an electrician, go be on the front lines of the military, and then we should have equal rights. But until feminists are willing to do that, I don't believe we should have the freedom without the responsibility.
Okay, well, I don't think that I'm physically built for that. You might be, but I'm absolutely
That's
not.
a bit-
No, but you said you were.
Wow.
You said you were a volleyball player, and so you've got.
Oh, she said you're big. Shut your big ass up. Go work at a oil rig. God damn.
I believe we should have the freedom without the responsibility.
Okay, well, I don't think that I'm physically built for that. You might be, but I'm absolutely not.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh, God damn.
Oh, you said you were a volleyball.
Wow.
You said you were a
Piers loved that. He's like, wow, the girls are fighting.
volleyball player, and so you've got more strength than I do. I don't think
But
that
I don't
can
have more
do
strength.
those
I don't have
jobs.
more strength
But
than
I'm
the
not
average
gonna take your
man.
right away to
I don't
do
have.
it.
I don't have more strength than the average man. But again, it goes back to go be a plumber. You want to be equal, go be equal.
But you want divorce to be made illegal.
Yes.
Why?
Yes, because I don't think what we have today is really marriage. What is marriage? It's for better or for worse, for richer or for poorer, in sickness and in health, till death do us part. That's what marriage is supposed to be. But feminists have ruined marriage for the people that actually believe in marriage.
How?
When there's a 50% divorce rate, and the average
This is so insane, dude. Feminists have ruined marriage by allowing women to divorce is an ungodly bad take. Like, marriage is supposed to be between a man and his slave, okay? Marriage is supposed to be not between a man and a woman. Marriage is supposed to be between a man and his captive, clearly.
average marriage
Why is that all down
8
to the
years.
women, though?
I didn't say that it was all down to the women.
So why
But
feminists ruin it?
you asked why I want divorce to be banned.
Yeah.
Can I finish
Yeah.
that first? So I'm saying, the people that believe in divorce, go be in long-term relationships. Leave marriage for the people that actually believe in for better or for worse, for richer or for poorer, in sickness and in health, till death do us part.
But doesn't the sanctity of marriage also rely on the woman being a virgin? So you wouldn't be able to get married.
Oh no. God, she is so bad. What will she get better at debating at a certain point, or will she just keep getting obliterated?
What do you mean?
Well, you've spoken quite openly about how you're not a virgin, and so if you want to preserve that sanctity of marriage, then I just think that you're upholding standards that you don't actually live by.
And that's a fair complaint. I wish I was, but we can't go back. I don't know what you want me to say.
No, but I just don't.
Oh God! So you don't want to be married if that's your ultimate goal in society, that you want to create a society where you can't get married? What? Oh Jesus, that's so ruthless. Oh God. Oh my God. Oh Lord. Oh Lordy. Oh, that's messed up. Oh my God. Oh fuck. Oh, that was so good. Holy.
That that you get to be here and you get to be paid for your views, and you're telling other women that they shouldn't be allowed to.
I think.
And they should abide by some-
Hang on. Okay, if I may, at some stage jump in. Isn't the whole point of being a feminist, though, that women are entitled to have their own views?
Absolutely. And
so she's perfectly entitled to her views.
Yeah, but you can't.
You might not like them.
But I'm here to challenge
But isn't she
them.
exercising her right as a... Are you a feminist?
No, I am not.
Really?
No, I wouldn't. Don't go that far.
You don't want to be a feminist?
God, Piers Morgan loves this shit. He's like, yes, keep going.
No, because I think if feminists really believed in equality, but you guys don't, I would love for you. There is an oil rig hiring. There is an engineering.
I would actually...
Why does she keep saying there's an oil rig hiring? Is that the only job that she thinks exists? Like, there are so many female-dominated sectors that are underrepresented that don't get paid enough, whether it be teaching or, like, healthcare, for example. And she just keeps saying, like, oh, they're gonna go work in the oil rig. It's like, dude, what the are you talking about?
I'd love to see Ava Satin on an oil rig.
No, seriously. There is a building being built next to my building. Go do it, feminists. Go do it. And me,
Paul,
I'm saying
the same job that I'm doing right now.
When you find the man you want to get married to, are you saying you will...
It's odd. Very odd position to defend over and over again. Like, the entire purpose of living in a society and living under the division of labor is so that, like, those who have better skills in that field work in those fields. I would never advocate against people who work at oil rigs getting paid fairly. I would never advocate against any worker getting paid fairly. But that's not usually what we're talking about when we're talking about, like, women in the workplace. The idea that, like, that your capabilities as an oil rigger has anything to do with whether or not you can vote or what your position in society is laughable. Okay? Absolutely zero people give a about these people that work in, like, menial tasks, menial labor intensive tasks. I don't know why she keeps bringing that up as a talking point when it has absolutely nothing to do with anything.
Literally, you will be with that man whatever happens the rest of your life.
Yes, for the vows that we're supposed to live by.
How do you know you can keep them?
I mean, I think it's a choice. And that's the thing, like, women are so willing to leave marriages because they're not happy. This is not about happiness. The most important thing is the children. And the problem is we have a modern society where it's me, my feelings, leave when I feel like it, instead of doing what's best for the kids.
Ava, I've got to say, it's a little bit listening to Andrew Tate where some of it I really don't agree with. I don't agree with the vote stuff. When I hear things like that, I think there'll be a lot of people, especially older generation women perhaps, who think, you know what, she's got a point.
Well, I mean, I believe in agency, so I think that if a woman is going to look after her children in divorce, that's absolutely fine. I also believe in your right to speak your mind about it. What I don't understand...
I'd like to
what
say,
I don't
even
understand,
before the 1920s,
do you know what I mean?
women could speak openly. This idea that, like, women couldn't talk the last 500 years, there have been women...
Dude, what the is she saying? Like, women had it so much better when they had zero autonomy is an incrable take. I love that.
You know, the American state...
Fuck it, just make shit up. Who's going to fact check you?
There have been women throughout history that have read, written, and been very influential in society.
Okay.
So this idea, like...
I want more. I want more. I want more. I want more. I want the... I want more from this interview that Piers Morgan conducted. There's got to be more, right? Finish the one you have first. I know, but I want to set it up.
Women could never do it.
Do you know what I don't understand, though, is when it gets spiteful, okay? Because you put down a few arguments that I think are perfectly, like, you know, they're kind of evangelical and they're Christian, but those are your right to say it. What I don't understand is when it kind of seeps into this sort of, you call women fat, you say that they shouldn't have abortions, you say that they have STDs. You know,
I mean, the question is, are they fat, yes or no? The average American woman is 170 pounds. That's objectively overweight.
I mean, let's be honest. We now celebrate morbid obesity as some kind of body positive thing, and it is complete nonsense. So actually, on that point again, there's a bit of truth in that.
And this is the problem.
How have we come to celebrate morbid obesity as body positive?
Well,
it's nonsense.
We're not talking about morbid obese. I was actually watching your podcast earlier, and you spoke to someone who was, I would say, probably a size 12, and you called her fat, obese, and a divorcee.
She was fat, obese, and a divorcee.
She wasn't.
I mean, like, I don't know what to say. This is the thing, women, we don't want to live in reality. We don't want to say things that are true. Was she fat? Yes. Was she a divorcee? Yes. These things are just objective facts.
Okay, I'm going to have to objectively.
And she insulted me first. They always do.
I'm going to have to objectively end the debate, but it was an interesting conversation. I think we should get you two back together as a matter of urgency. Thank you very much, Pearl.
Ethan Klein went harder on her, goddamn. Yeah, of course Ethan Klein went harder on her. The uploader has not made this video available in your country. Is there another one? Because I would like to see. Oh no, I don't want to see her reaction to the situation at hand. I would like to see the uninterrupted one. That was not the entire segment. There's more. There's definitely more. That was the end of their debate? Wait, really? That's interesting. That was the whole debate segment. Got it. You saw it all? It was a 15-minute thing. That's all he does? That's a bummer. I feel like he's had Andrew Tate on for longer in the past. I guess because she's a female Andrew Tate, it doesn't matter as much. Sorry, but she 100% doesn't believe anything she says. She's always smiling like she's cringing at herself while she speaks or memeing. I don't know. Probably because it's really easy to say the craziest shit and suddenly you're on national TV. I think there's an element of truth to what you're stating there. I think she like partially believes some of it. And the other part the other half of it is that she's making money. Listen, if you can't tone it, tan it, is what people say in the fitness industry. And then some people also apply that principle to if you can't be a unique, entertaining content creator, just engage in the hackiest bits possible.